Hello, hello. Is it time for a Lighty video? I think it is that time of the year. I got an item. I'm in Sentinel League. That's how it's pronounced. Solo self-found, and I was fiddling and diddling and recombinating as one does. The recombinators, they smash things together. I like to smash things. And I made something accidentally that I kind of want to make a build around. Here's the item itself. It's a battery staff, which is experimental based. That it has +5, well, +2 all, +3 cold, and it has the incursion to Kadi mod on it. The suffixes aren't bad. I'd like to clean them up, but they're totally fine as is. So it's a kind of disgusting weapon and a weird base, and it's funky. But here's the clip of me making it. I bet you with all the shit luck I've had in recombinating and not making a single usable item with it so far, I've got a feeling that if I recombinate this right now, it's gonna probably work, and I'm gonna get a +5 staff I do not want. I've got a sneaking suspicion. So this staff has the spell damage modifier from incursion, and it has +2 all gems. This staff has +3 all gems. So what are the odds that when I recombinate them, I have a +5 staff with the temple mod? Are you fuck? I'm so upset. And we're back. So that's the item, and I don't know what the fuck to do with it. You know, obviously, I have to pick a cold build, but let's go through the process of like what it would be like for me as a learned gentleman to find out what I want to play. We're gonna look at our options. First thing we want to do is we want to check. I want to check what skill gems are available for cold. So. I was doing some research for something else. Let's look at the cold gems. So if I cold, okay, here we go. Spell gems that are cold. It could technically be an attack, but I think we're pretty much going to be doing a spell. So which ones are viable that I could do? So Ice Trap works. We have to take advantage of our weapon, right? So it's going to be something that is a cold spell that does spell damage that also would benefit from the non-chaos as extra chaos. So that is more limiting, but that's fine. So Ice Trap, that's possible. Herald of Ice, technically possible to be involved somehow. Cold Snap, there's an initial hit, and then there's a dot. Creeping Frost, could be possible. Freezing Pulse, potential. Wall, no. Frost Blink technically does damage. Ice Nova does damage. I'm not going to do Spear because I'd rather do that as a Deadeye. That's a whole other thing. Okay, so basically we have a lot of options here. You know, if I wanted to see if it's viable, well, I know because I'm a learned man. I know what is viable, what isn't. Anything's really viable, but let's just say you could. Are other people playing it? Is a question. So if I type in Ice Trap, there are in Trade League 7 people playing it. Now that being said, this guy has 20 mil damage on his Ice Trap, so clearly it is viable. Herald of Ice, I think I'm going to incorporate into no matter what I do, because Herald of Ice also gains the benefits of all those levels, those precious levels. Cold Snap. Now Cold Snap is Cold Spap. Cold Snap is interesting. Let me go back to this tab. This is going to be better for me if I just look around here for a while. Cold Snap is interesting because it has a Val variant, which is kind of spicy, and the cooldown can be bypassed by extending power charge. So it swaps what it uses, power versus frenzy. I kind of like the idea of frenzy personally, so I'm all for the frenzy variation plus the Val variation is really super spicy. Val Cold Snap is like a lot of fun, and I actually do have a triumvirate ring for it. So let's look at Val Cold Snap. So it does an additional burst, and then it also releases what is it? Oh, that's right. Val Cold Snap is the circle around you. They changed it. I'm turned off now. It used to be a bunch of hands coming out of the ground. I don't like. Winter was historically turbo jank. I kind of like it. I like the idea of it. You toss the thing out, and then it does a bunch of little projectiles, and those do damage. Could be good. High crit, high shatter, Herald Device. I'm not a big fan of that. I really like Freezing Pulse totems, but I've kind of been tainted by that experience. Frostbomb is a wonky one because you could basically, it's an AoE, so it can be used with overlapping mechanics like Cascade, etc. Could be good. Giving it huge levels could be kind of spicy. You can do Frost Blink totems. I could be placing totems that could be Frost blinking around. Some of these are pretty convincing. That one's super sussy. I have a level 21 Frost Blink also, which is adding fuel to my personal fire. I have 4 medium totem jewels as well. I have an 8 passive cold as well. Firestones would affect it. Rain of Splinters would do nothing, obviously. Ice Nova, Great Val variant, could also be used in Triumvirate. We mentioned Triumvirate earlier. For those who don't know what the fuck Triumvirate is, basically makes it's a ring off of Adziri. It makes your Val skill, you pop it in there, it does cool things and giga damage. This one's not bad. It's 150% more damage, plus 2 gen levels. Damage with the hits is lucky, and there's a 20% chance that it doesn't consume any souls when used. Ice Nova is a possibility. That's a 50-50. Siphoning Trap is legally a skill. Compare the top end of this 760. It's a dot, granted, but 760 is the top end of Frostbomb, 2000. It's like not even close. Plus Frostbomb applying its own exposure. I think I remember someone doing a build on this, but I'm not sure. I just typed, what did I just type? Gatati. I don't want to type Gatati. Here's a person with a 12 mil damage on Frostbomb. Are they ward looping? Yeah, it's ward looping. Okay. Oh yeah, this guy did Pledge of Hands Frostbomb with Archmage. Very interesting. Awakened Spell Cascade. Probably huge AoE. Like I said, to pick an Ascendancy, you start leveling, doing the whole thing. So let's do that. We were looking briefly at what other people were doing, but let's just check Frostbombs from this league and last league. Okay, in Sentinel we have a Cultist, which makes sense because Frostbomb does damage. This guy's stacking, this guy's doing some other shit. So forget this league. Let's check last league. Last league we have Archmage Scions across the board, it looks like. Are these guys not Archmage? What are they doing? Ward looping? Yeah, they're more than ward looping. I think I'm gonna have to make a tree from scratch. Now, with that comes Ascendancies. What do I want to do? Do I want to go Inquisitor? I don't think so, because I don't want to be preventing or busting through res when it has built-in exposure. What's the benefit of a Cultist? Well, I have explosions from Profane Bloom. I have nearby enemies have negative cold res. It's not exposure, that's just negative. I have the more cold damage from Frigid Wake, along with the every 4 second shenanigans. Then Winter's Bounty would make... Oh, never mind, I'm not using Winter's Bounty. I'm all over the fucking place. It really comes back to the why am I not just using fucking Void Batteries? So I'm using this +5 staff. Well, I think after everything we looked at, I think I made my decision. I think I know exactly what I want to do. And I'm going to tab back in to clouds that look like cats. Alright, so after all that research and preparation, looking at what the possibilities are for a build, I think I've made my final decision. I don't want to level again, so I'm going to go play a different video game.